All right. Hello, and welcome. Welcome to hashtag SOS Summer of Success, where we are going to get you right for this next 6 months of 2018, okay? If you started this year with big goals, big dreams, ready to make it happen, but it didn't, today and for the next 6 weeks, every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, meet me right here on my Facebook personal page, and we're going to get you right, okay? We're going to talk about the law of attraction and how the law of attraction applies in your life. Today we're going to start with how the law of attraction measures up with your religion. Because throughout this next 6 weeks, we're going to do a lot of talking about some concepts that are based on the law of attraction. And I want to make sure that you're sure that what we're talking about is up your alley, right? I want to make sure that you're comfortable with the information that I'm presenting and you understand where I'm coming from. Because I don't ever want to lead you in a direction that you just don't get, right? So also, we're going to talk about everything from coaching to manifesting money, happiness. Let's see, what else are we talking about? We're going to get success down, okay? So if you are not sure how to get to the next level, if you're in the same place today that you were in December, this is the place to be, okay? So I'm going to see you every Monday at 6 p.m. right here on my Facebook fan page. Also, I want you to take just a few seconds right now to invite your friends and share this video on your Facebook page, because it's no fun being successful by yourself, yeah? So let's go ahead and get started. Today, I have a special guest with me, Pastor Michael Bell, the pastor of Purpose Church right here in Baltimore, Maryland. But before I get started, those of you that are new to my broadcast, I'm Takia Hansley from TakiaDHansley.com, the creator of $ and Crayon, your simple solutions to success in life, family, and work, where I provide simple step-by-step solutions for work-from-home moms that right now their life might be a complete and utter mess, but we help you bring it in and focus in peace, prosperity, and success. Okay, so let's get started. Pastor Bell, we're talking about the law of attraction today, okay? Yeah. So basically, I want to make sure that everybody has clarity in what the law of attraction is and is it against their religion, okay? So we want to debate today law of attraction and church. Before we get into that, introduce yourself. Tell us a bit about who you are and what you have going on.
How you doing, everybody out there? My name is Pastor Michael Bell. I'm the pastor of Purpose Church. Our address is 801 North Howard Street.
Okay, we're back. We had a Facebook connection issue. So we're good?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, so I was just saying, my name is Pastor Mike, and probably about in 2014, I went through a transition in my life where, I was hearing a lot about the law of attraction, and just like many people that are in church and, in religion, they wrestle with that. They wrestle with how does that apply, to their religion or their belief system. And I wrestled with it too, and so I just did a lot of digging, a lot of searching, and I just began to see the connection between the law of attraction and what the law of attraction is. And I think that sometimes the issue is people do not understand what it is. I think because sometimes we'll listen to a lot of teachers, and every teacher of the law of attraction, and not to take anything from anyone, they have their own personality, they have their own twist to it. They're going to give you their own perspective. But if you really understand what the law of attraction really is, the law of attraction is nothing but a universal law. It's almost like gravity. I mean, it's something that you can't suspend. It's something that, whether you believe in it or not, you're going to be subjected to it. I mean, the Bible, when it talks about it, it's a scripture where Paul talks about, and he talks about in Galatians, he says, whatever a man or woman reaps, that's what they're going to sow. And that's the fundamental principle of the law of attraction. The law of attraction is simply that the individual reaps whatever they sow. If you want to take it to the level of faith, is whatever you believe in. You'll begin to attract the things that you believe in your life. And so, I mean, that's the broad spectrum of it. But when you start breaking it down, everyone has their different ways. You know, some people want to attract money. Some people want to attract houses. Some people want to attract happiness. So it's multifaceted in this presentation.
Okay. Y'all got that? Any questions so far? As you guys have questions, drop them in the comments. And I want to make sure that we're answering your questions as the broadcast goes on. Are you seeing comments come through?
Yep.
I'm not. So, let me know. We're going to have a moderator let us know when your questions come through, and we'll roll with it that way, okay? Don't you love live? So let's get going. I have a few questions that I've come across during my time studying the law of attraction and following other people, and just in conversations that I've come across in talking about law of attraction. I've been teaching law of attraction for a couple years now. I've been studying law of attraction since 2006. That's when I've actually consciously started practicing the law of attraction. When I first saw The Secret, you know, everybody like, oh, The Secret, I can manifest all these things. I just got to think about it. But, you know, that's when I was aware of what was already happening in my life. And I could go back and say, you know, wow, I did cause this to happen. Yeah. I did focus on this so much that it actually happened. So it took a while for me to actually realize. It's like, you don't know about gravity until you're in science class and your teacher says, you know, on Earth, everything has the same force of gravity, right? So that was major for me. And then just studying it from then on and learning how to apply it in my life was a big thing. And I've come across quite a few critics. Yeah. And we're going to talk about some things that have been in those conversations. Wow. Okay. So, let's start with, you already touched on it a little bit, but what does the Bible say about the law of attraction?
Okay, so like I was saying earlier, I think the fundamental principle of the law of attraction is that you reap what you sow. That's what it is. From and you can apply that to anything. It's whatever you sow. You sow with your focus. Mm-hmm. That's what you really primarily sow with. Wherever you put your focus in, that's almost like sowing a seed. That becomes your belief. That becomes your faith. You also sow with your actions. As you begin to act towards the situation, you're sowing into that. And as you begin to sow, what you have to trust is the process of how God created things, that wherever you put your faith in, based on what your faith is, that you'll receive it right back to you. And that's what the Bible really teaches. I mean, if you start looking at even Jesus, I mean, to me, what really started making me appreciate the law of attraction was when I started understanding what Jesus said. When Jesus said, I come so that you can have life and have life more abundantly. Yes. And I think the fundamental principle that if you listen to any law of attraction teacher, what they're going to teach you is that they're going to teach you that the whole idea of the law of attraction is so that we can live an abundant life. And I believe that that's what God wants for us. And I think abundant life does not have to do with just material things, because even when I preach it and I teach it, I'm not one of the teachers that's going to teach you on the level of material things. And you have people that will teach you on the level of material things, and I think that material things do come with it. But I think really what the teaching of the law of attraction is trying to get you to attract more is love. I think that's what the law of attraction really is all about, is to get closer to God and to walk in love. And as you begin to give love to yourself first, right? Because you can't give love to nobody else unless you give love to yourself. As you give love to yourself first, what you'll begin to do, you'll begin to attract situations, you know, that are loving towards you, whether it is a house that you love, whether it's a job that you love, whether it's a car that you love. Your whole life will be surrounded around love. And I think it's important for whoever, the individual, whoever is trying to practice it, to understand that everything starts with you. Right. Yeah, it's not about, and I think that's where the confusion comes in, because so many people go after outside things and they don't understand that what it's teaching you and what it's trying to teach you is to build that inner person, to build that inner self, and you are the magnet. I think that that's one of the things that I've really grasped from it, that I am the magnet to what I believe, to what I feel, to what I'm trusting in. And if I can just build myself on the inside, I will magnetically attract everything on the outside to me.
That's good. I like how you went ahead and broke down this whole material thing.
Yeah.
And how when you're trying to manifest something material, instead of focusing on that material thing, you focus on the love that you have for yourself and your relationship with God.
Yeah.
And that'll bring all those extra material things in. I like that. You also said something else that I really like. You mentioned the actions that you take.
Yeah.
That's the part that so many people miss, especially with The Secret, because they don't really mention it in The Secret. The actions that you have to take. I'm going to sit and I'm going to hope and I'm going to wish and I'm going to visualize and meditate on this new thing that I want, but that's all. I'm not going to do anything.
Yeah.
I know my solution for that is completely biblical. Faith without works is dead.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah. That's
so
right.
Anything else?
So, all right. So here's how the law of attraction works. Just to put it in the simplest term, I put my mind on something, right? And really, honestly, everything that you need is always available to you. It's always here. Whatever answer you're looking for is always around you, somewhere near you. And as you begin to put your focus on something, you begin to become in tune to something. If you pay attention to, if you start focusing on something, you'll start noticing then that, that some of the ads that you look at, those things will start popping up to you. You'll start watching even your behavior. Your behavior will start going, like I'll go on YouTube or I'll start researching. And even on the unconscious level, you don't have to figure out your actions. If you just keep on putting something inside of you, you'll start acting out of it. I'll give you a good example. And the thing that I think everybody has to grasp about the law of attraction and the teaching is that, we live on a feeling universe. Earth is a feeling place. It's a spiritual place. It's an energy place, however you want to call it. But it's a feeling universe. And so what has to happen is when I begin to develop the feelings towards whatever I'm trying to do, I'll begin to act out of that. I'll give you a good example. Let's look at it on the negative side because everybody can relate to this. If you get angry, right? If you get angry and you get angry enough, nobody has to teach you the things that you need to do to act out your anger. Depending on how angry you get, and what will begin to happen is, as you get angry, as you get madder and madder, words will come to you. If you get so mad, you get enraged, you'll look over here, you'll see a bat, you'll pick up a bat, then something to tell you, go bust the windows. You know what I'm saying? You'll really be led by whatever energy, whatever feeling, whatever spirit you are possessing. And I think the key for people to understand is that if I can possess the spirit of what I desire, I'll be led by it. So a lot of times what makes mistakes for people is that people look at The Secret, and The Secret just tell you, put your mind on it. So you be sitting around just putting your mind on it, visualizing at night, thinking about it, and not understanding that in order for me to start behaving and start moving in that direction, I got to feel it. Because if I feel it, what will start happening is the thing that I desire, it will literally draw itself to me. Mm-hmm. And it's not even that I have to really put in work. This just is natural. And everybody has done this on some level. Let you get fired from your job right now, and you really put in your mind, I want a job, I'm going to get a job. You'll be led to websites. You'll be led to people. You'll start looking and calling people. You'll start doing all these different acts in order to bring to pass what you really desire. And as you begin to put the action in with the faith, because you can be putting a lot of action in, but if you don't have no faith, you're not going to be able to receive the manifestation. If you put the action in with the belief, what's going to happen is things are going to show up.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. So before I keep going with my questions, are there any questions coming through? But you can see. Okay. All right, good. So thank you for your comments, guys. I can't literally see your comments right now, but I appreciate them. Make sure, if you have not done so already, hit the share button. And if this is some good stuff, give us some love, show us some likes and some hearts, and invite your friends to join in on this conversation, because we got some good stuff on here today, y'all. If you have not seen success thus far in 2018, this is the place to be to get it. All right, so we're moving on. How about some examples in the Bible? Because, we're going to keep this Okay, we're going to keep it faith-based a bit right here, okay? Some examples in the Bible where the law of attraction is laid out plain and clear, just as plain as day. It just does not say law of attraction is.
All right, I mean, it's a scripture. Jesus says, ask and it will be given.
Okay.
Seek and you will find.
I know that.
Knock and the door will be open. Is that, I don't know if it gets clearer than that. And it gives you really the steps to attract what you want. The first thing you got to do is you ask. And, you don't have to get down and be like, Father, I stretch my hands to thee by asking. Sometimes you can ask just based on your interest, based on your focus. Mm-hmm. Because ultimately, God filled you, because you are always connected to God. And I think that's the one thing that people don't understand. Everything that we see was created by God. God is the creator of everything. And so God is always connected to us. So even our feelings, God can feel it. And I think that sometimes people don't understand that your behavior is asking for things to come back into you. Have you ever seen somebody that just was behaving just crazy, like just out of pocket, and they just started having negative things come back to them just based on their behavior? Because sometimes, even without saying the words, your behavior, because your feelings can give off some type of energy that draws things into you. And so if you begin to ask, and it says, and if you seek, you ask, you put it out there, and then you put it out there to the atmosphere, then you start seeking. You start really opening your eyes, and seeking does not always mean that you have to find a way. Seeking means that really that you possibly just need to open your eyes. There's a scripture where in Genesis, where God sends Abraham, he sends Abraham up to this mountain to sacrifice his son. And only thing that God tells him, take your son up there, use your son as a sacrifice. But he says, the Lord will provide. That's the only thing he says. Mm-hmm. And so as Abraham began to follow God, when he gets to the top of the mountain, the only thing God told him to do, only thing he had to do is open his eyes and look, because what he needed was right there. Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes for us, all we really have to do is really relax, number one. Because sometimes, our worry, our stress is standing in the way of our vision. If we could just get to a point where we relax and then just open our eyes and look, God is always trying to show us the way. Right. The thing that I learned about God is that God communicates with us at all times. And God is always trying to communicate to us through our experiences. And if we just open our eyes and just look for the good, because God is the good in every situation, we'll find God and we'll find everything that God has for us.
Good. That's good stuff. One thing you said that really stood out was worrying. Worrying will block you, because if you think about it, if you're worrying about something that you asked for, you're saying, okay, I'm asking, but I'm not sure if I believe if this is going to come to pass. Yeah. And it's ask, believe, receive. And a lot of times, because you're so worried, you're leaving out the believe part. Yeah. So you don't get to receive because you're so busy not believing. This is lady named Marion Williamson, and she was saying, that worrying is asking for what you don't want.
Yes. When you're worrying, you're literally asking for what you don't want to happen. And so if you sitting around asking, you praying for money and you worrying, you're asking God not to give it to you.
There it is. There it is. Hands down, if you're worrying about your money, you're asking God not to give you the money because you don't believe that he will provide. That just came to me right there. Let me stop playing. And while we're talking about money, here's a question. When it comes to manifesting, what does the Bible say about manifesting money and houses and all these things? Because I know for me, along my journey of learning about the law of attraction, especially in the beginning, the word manifesting scared me. Mm-hmm. It felt like that was a gray area because, they don't quite talk about manifesting in church, typically. In the typical church, they don't really talk about manifesting. So when I heard manifesting, it was like, oh, I don't know if I'm supposed to believe in this. Yeah. And I know a lot of other people may have that question. That's the thing about that dumb question. Don't be afraid to ask that dumb question because somebody else has that same question. So I found the answer, but as a pastor, in your authority, can you answer the question on manifesting? What does the Bible say about manifesting?
Well, I want to start by just talking about manifesting. I think number one, I think what people may not understand is that you manifest all day. I mean, manifesting is just you really just receiving from God. For real, it's just a manifestation of God delivering you something. So, I mean, you're manifesting. If you just get a piece of gum, you're manifesting. Like, for real, your paycheck every single 2 weeks or every week, you're manifesting that. You know, manifesting is just, you know, you believing in something and then you receiving it back from. So manifesting, I think when people think about manifesting, they put manifestation on big things and they think that you only call it manifesting if I get something big. But you always manifesting whether it's big or small. So that's the first thing. But I mean, when you start talking about manifesting wealth, I mean, some of the, you look at Abraham. I mean, Abraham, he really kind of started with almost nothing and leaving his family house, and then Abraham manifested a lot of cattle. He manifested a lot of and at that time, because money is nothing but a means of exchange,
right?
And so Abraham manifested a lot of cattle, and you know, during that time, cattle was your means of exchange. That's how you had wealth. And so if Abraham was in our time, Abraham probably been like a millionaire, billionaire type. You know, if you look at Solomon, think about all the wealth that Solomon manifested, to the point where he had people coming from all over the world bringing him stuff just based on who he was, based on the energy that he possessed. And he was building palaces, he was building temples for God. And so I think that is all in the Bible, the power of manifesting. I think that's just the source of what the Bible is. Even when you begin to look at the disciples, I mean, the disciples, even after Jesus left, I mean, they manifested their whole entire church, you know, from nothing. And it's scriptures in Acts where, you know, they were attracting money from different people, where they had people that was giving up selling all of their land to bring money, you know, to them so that they can build the church. So I think it's all in the Bible. It's all in the Bible, just manifesting wealth.
Cool. So manifesting, by your definition, clearly is not witchcraft. But just to make it clear, is the law of attraction witchcraft?
It's no way that you can say the law of attraction is witchcraft because it's almost like saying gravity is witchcraft. But can it be used for witchcraft? I mean, I think that you can use anything negatively. I think people can use anything on a negative end. The law of attraction is not subjected to good or evil. And I think that that's what people may not understand. And so, like, I think it's in the hands of the user, whoever is trying to, whoever hands it get into, and whoever developed that understanding. Even if you start looking, even in old times, people that use witchcraft, they would use the law of attraction to attract evil to them. And even today, when evil comes into people attract evil into their life, just like you can attract good. So the law of attraction in itself is a law that the universe and that this earth has that's here, but it's all about the hands of the person that is using it.
Okay, good. It's good stuff, y'all. You heard it here first, okay? Do we have any questions coming through the timeline? All right, guys, before we close out, give us some love, some likes, some thumbs up, some hearts, all that good stuff. Make sure you are inviting your friends if you haven't done so already, and share this video. Sharing is caring, okay? So, my last question, I wouldn't say it's a tough one, but I think it's a good one.
Oh, man.
Okay? So, if you can manifest good health and wealth and material things and joy and love, if you can manifest all of these things by just using your own energy, why do you need to pray? Like, why do you need God?
Because even what the Bible teaches, everything that is good and perfect, it comes from God. So if God is the one that has, you know, what you need, you got to go to the source. So it's not just like, you know, when you manifest stuff. And I think sometimes what gets people is that people think, you know, because, you know, you use your energy that you are the power. your energy alone can't bring nothing into your life. It has to come from some type of source that is already here. And the presence of God is the source that the things come from. So if you are disconnected from God, you won't be able to manifest the goodness from God. I think that the thing with the law of attraction is it's really more so about you being aligned to God. And when you align yourself to God, you will manifest those things, those happiness, that healing and all those things. And I think that, when you are not manifesting those things, that is a sign of your disconnect. I think one of the ways that I've learned about the law of attraction is that if I really want to get what I want, Jesus said this, and I love this. Jesus said, people sit around, they worrying about how to get houses and how to get clothes and what you're going to eat and what you're going to wear. This is in Matthew 7. I think it's Matthew 7. Matthew 6 or 7. And he says, you worrying about all these things. He said, what you need to do is seek the kingdom of God and all of his righteousness, and everything that you need will be added unto you. If you really want to manifest health and all those things, and you want to be whole, if you seek God, God is the one that has it. So really, we need God in order for us to manifest goodness, because the only thing God is goodness. And so if you want goodness to come into you, you have to seek out goodness and pray to goodness and ask for goodness.
There it is.
To come in your life.
There it is. So that was a good note to close on. But since this is the summer of success, what would you like to leave this conversation with when it comes to attracting success in this next 6 months?
What I would say to anybody that's trying to attract success and seeking out joy, seeking out goodness through the law of attraction, I would tell anybody to not focus on the material things. I would tell anybody, whoever is out there, to just focus on your spirit. I promise you that if you just make a decision just to live in joy, God will begin to bring so many things into your life. God will give you every single thing that you want. If you have material things, it's cool to have material things, but material things is not going to bring you wholeness. Material things aren't going to make you happy. What you really are looking for, you're really looking for that inward feeling of joy and happiness and peace. And I promise you that if you learn to possess that inward joy and that inward peace, what's going to happen is you're going to see the outside things show up, because this world that we live in is just mirroring the inside of you. So it's working from the inside out. And if you learn to work from the inside out, everything that you need is going to be added to you.
There it is. Any questions in the comments? No questions? We have good comments? Anything that's... Okay. So, guys, we're going to come back through the comment stream, and Pastor Mike Bell and myself will be checking in with your comments and responding to your comments and all. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. Where can we find you again, Pastor Bell? What is your web address for your church? Our website is
www.purpose2praise.org. Our address is 401 North Howard. I said 801. Our old address was 875. And I threw out our old address, but our address is 401 North Howard. We worship out of the Cultural Arts Center every Sunday at 10:30. Again, our website is purpose2praise.org.
And there it is.
Who is the author of The Source?
Who is the author of
The Source?
The Secret?
The Source.
The Source?
The Source.
We didn't talk about the Source.
The Lord, that's who the Source is.
Yeah. But the author of The Secret, which we did mention, is Rhonda Bird.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, the source is the Lord. All right. Any other questions before we sign out? All right. Thank you, guys. I appreciate your time. Okay, they got it. So have an amazing evening. Have an amazing week on purpose, with purpose. Thank you for joining us for the first week of #SOS Summer of Success. If you got value from this video, throw down that distress signal. #SOS, okay? Because we are coming to the rescue all summer long on Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Next week, I'll have another special guest, so stay tuned to Summer of Success. Have an amazing week on purpose, with purpose. Until next time, guys, be incredible.